I told y'all today that I was doing what I can, and after that, I was sitting at my desk. So here I am, sitting at my desk, and the only reason that they are quiet is because they're on their laptops. How terrible is that? I was just teaching, could not teach anything, could not get a sentence out without someone throwing a pencil, someone yelling across the room, somebody hitting somebody, somebody telling on somebody. But I say, okay, I can't yell. I literally can't yell. Get on your laptop. Now they're all quiet. If that's not a problem, what is? Today in social studies, we revisited Ruby Bridges. We're talking about historical figures. Benjamin Franklin, Ruby Bridges, Theodore Roosevelt, George Washington Carver, all those. So I'm like, what is one thing you can tell me about Ruby Bridges? This little girl looks me in my eyes and says, she's a white girl. I don't know what else to do. But I told them if I can't get what I need out of them, they can't get what they need out of me. We just went to the restroom, right? Before we came back in the classroom. It's 12:32. So we went to the restroom at like 12:10. I told them we're not going back to the restroom until after our intervention in math block. That's only an hour. Why, as soon as I got in here and started teaching, three people raised their hand to go to the bathroom?
Parents, we got to stop making sure or expecting these teachers to teach our kids and be babysitters at the same time. Our job as parents is to make the teachers' lives easier by telling our kids and disciplining our kids at home. A lot of these kids don't have discipline because y'all parents is too soft. Y'all kids is wearing out these teachers, forcing these teachers to quit, keeping just get on the iPad and learn. One of the worst things for kids is iPads. Putting your kid on an iPad or putting your kid on a Chromebook is not helping these kids learn. That means they constantly have to be entertained. They don't know how to sit down, sit still, and just listen and learn. I feel like that epidemic should not have been pushed into the kids where they have to learn the computers and stuff. That should be something later on in life. Now these kids are so dependent on the iPad, so dependent on being on the computer, they don't know about real life. One of the things that I did with my kids, because my kids used to be iPad kids, until I saw an interview with Chamath, the guy who used to have Facebook or used to be a part of Facebook. They were talking about his kid had ADHD. One thing that he did was he took away the iPad from the kid. The kid was on the iPad all the time. That was the same thing with my kids. They used to be on the iPad, and that's my fault. I should have regulated that from the beginning, but I started to see they were starting to act irrational, being angry, playing the games, yelling at each other. I just said, no more iPad, no more computers. If you want to go play, go outside, play board games, do something that has nothing to do with a screen. My kids made a full 180. It took them legit 4 to 5 months because afterwards they were like freaking crack addicts. They didn't know what to do with themselves. And I said, go outside, go play, get off the screen, get out of my face. Don't drive me crazy. Go outside, be a kid. One thing that our parents did was go outside and play, ride your bike, do chalk on the sidewalk, go outside, look at the world. These kids don't know what the world looks like. But then what they do is when they get that taken away, they're terrorizing the teachers. Teachers don't get paid enough to be this babysitter and a teacher. This is why teachers are quitting. They're already not getting paid enough. And now they got to deal with your bad kid because you didn't discipline them or you just got them on the screen every single day because you need a break yourself. We have to remove the screens from our kids. I understand that the phones and everything is needed later on in life, but in the classroom, it should be the old fashioned way of teaching. This is why a lot of schools that are really doing it big and have bigger budgets, private schools, they don't really have those screens like that. You may use it for here and there, but you're not on it 24/7. What's going on in these lower income areas or these public schools, take the screen, be on the screen, 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 where you need to have these kids outside because all you're doing is driving your teacher crazy And then the teacher just quits and says, get on the Chromebook. And now it's quiet to give the teacher some break. But the teacher shouldn't be the babysitter. They should be the teacher.
Sorry, as soon as I finished teaching and gave them the assignment, they raised their hand to go to the bathroom. Do you think I was born last night? Y'all want to go to the bathroom and play. And even if it's not to play, it's to avoid the work. But I have to let them go if they ask again. Because if not, they're going to go home and tell their parents, and then I'm holding them from the bathroom. Like, there's no winning, even though I know that they're going to go there and play. Because every single time I let them go to the bathroom after a restroom break, they're playing. Even if I send them one at a time, they're playing. Tissue all on the floor, hanging from the bathroom stalls, clogging the toilet up on purpose, water everywhere on the floor, making soap mountains in their hands. It's so bad, y'all. They just get up and walk out without permission, like they're in high school. And I don't know what else to do. And classroom management this, classroom management that. I can't keep a kid from walking out my classroom. I can't touch them. I can't grab them. I can't move them out the way. I can't put my hands on them, because if that get back to their mama that I hit them, who y'all gonna believe? The mama, the kid, right? Because these kids aren't liars. Kids don't lie.
So true. So true. We, as parents, have to make sure our kids come to school correct. Your kids need to make sure they come correct and make sure that they understand that they shouldn't be messing around in school. Discipline your kids, parents. Tell your kids what they need to be doing. Set the standard for your kids. Stop trying to be your kids' best friend, parents. If your kids is acting out of line and keep doing the same thing over and over again, discipline your kids. Whoop your kids. A lot of y'all scared, but you have to set the standard for your kids. Or your kids going to either go through school, then they're going to meet somebody that's really about that life, or an officer that's really about that life. You have to set the standard for your kids early. If you don't, the kids will be ruined. Go outside and play. Read a book and then tell me about the book. Get off the screens. You don't need an iPad. I tell you, when I took my iPad away from my daughters, night and day. They've been good kids, but it's just that it was like a drug. Always on the phone, always looking at the iPad, always playing a game, always getting upset, always screaming at each other. Give me them damn iPads. Give them to me. These kids should not be on these screens early in their life. They need to be experiencing life. Go outside and touch a tree. Go outside and do some cartwheels. And if you hurt yourself, you hurt yourself. But learn life. Go ride your bike really fast and jump ramps. Do something with yourself. But us as parents, we get lazy because we know that calms our kids down so they can have it, but then it becomes a drug for the kid. This is why, as parents, we have to teach our kids early. We got to stop expecting our teachers to teach our kids how to act. We got to set the standard for them and have them already at that standard, that foundation before they go to school. Because if you don't, they would be more of a distraction and they would be pushed behind. But this is why we have to be, as parents, on our kids. Our job is to push our kids forward and help them be better. If we don't do that, then what are we doing in life? What are we doing? How are we helping our kids if we're just babying them and letting them do whatever they want and be on the iPad? This is not that. We have to make sure we set this standard, because what's going to happen is these teachers are going to quit. They're going to go on strike. Why are you going on strike? Because your kids is too damn bad. That is not my job to be the babysitter. My job is to teach these kids and get them ready for the next grade. But if they can't do that, then I'm getting severely underpaid. So we have to make it easier for our teachers. The teacher's job is to teach our kids, not be their babysitter.